Hey Canucks fans, the Canucks kicked off their development camp at UBC today. Let's talk about some of the names that we'll be keeping an eye on not only this week, but going forward as well. I am Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Monday, July the 11th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Thanks to everyone who joined me for my live stream last night. Great crowd and some really generous people in there. Piling on the donations, so thank you very much. I appreciate that. No Canucks After Dark tonight. We are doing it tomorrow night because I have both a softball game and a hockey playoff game. So tomorrow night will be Canucks After Dark. And once again, if you saw my brand collab with Vessi, if you buy a pair of shoes with Vessi, use the discount code Canuck Clay, and you'll get $15 off every single pair that you buy. And I thank Vessi for their trust in the Canuck Clay brand, in me as well. Speaking of trust, today is day one of the Canucks prospects gaining the trust of their teammates, their coaches, and management. So we're not going to put too much stock into day one of development camp. Some of these guys were just drafted a few days ago, but it is a chance to make a first impression. Not, like I said, not only with coaches, but with management and with teammates as well. More importantly, not only is it a good first impression, it's learning about the culture, learning about the team. And after this week-long camp, management and coaches will then start to be able to put in development plans for each of these players, whether they are going to continue in Abbotsford, whether they're going to go back to their junior teams, go back overseas, go back to college, whatever these players are doing. This is really, for some of them, the start of their long career, hopefully, with the Vancouver Canucks. So I think if we set that stage and we understand what the point of this development camp is, it isn't just to see how fast the guy can skate or how hard he can shoot or how physical he is in his own end. Yes, those things are important, but more importantly, it's about that first impression, it's about learning about the team, and it's about the team then setting up plans for each of these players as they return to their respective places to play next season. Now, before we talk about some of the players, I think a couple of storylines that were kind of cool to think about. Henrik and Daniel Sedin back on the ice. Wow, I've talked about this all summer. They're not two other players that can be better mentors for you. Especially, it doesn't matter if you're Swedish, Finnish, Canadian, US, whatever, Russian. The fact that you have two Hall of Famers now, kind of cool to say, two Hall of Famers on the ice with you who spent their entire career with the Vancouver Canucks. That's a pretty cool thing. So it's nice to see shots of the Sedins on the ice and doing their thing. Again, no better mentors than those two. Also, it was nice to see Jeremy Colleton, the brand new coach of the Abbotsford Canucks. He's obviously there because a lot of these players he's going to get for not this season, but seasons beyond. So obviously he was on the ice and trying to also see the first impression that his players and potential players were giving him. So let's talk about some of those players. There are a few names that I'm really interested in to see how they do. And again, we don't want to put too much stock into this one particular camp, but we're starved for hockey news. We're starved for news about our team as we wait for maybe a JT Miller trade. We talked about that quite a bit. So as I talk about these players, I want you to put in the comments who you're looking forward to seeing and learning about as well. So I have a few forwards and a couple of D-men that I want to talk about. The first forward is obviously our first round draft pick, our 15th overall pick, Jonathan Lekkerimaki. And we've heard about his wicked shot, his great release, his offensive skill. So we'll see if we get to witness a glimpse of that during this week. But obviously he's young. He's only 17 years old. We know that. We know he's at least 2, if not 3 years away for playing for this club. But that's a perfect example of why you need a development plan. Is he going to go back to Sweden? Great. How is he going to play? What's he going to work on? Is he going to work on bulking up, any skill work, whatever it may be? So Jonathan Lekkerimaki is one guy that I'm very interested in. Another Swede that I'm very interested in is Linus Carlson. This guy, kind of weird way that he got to us. He was actually traded for Jonathan Dahlin, who in turn, back in the day, was traded for Alex Burrows. So Carlson wasn't even the guy that we got for Burrows. It was Dahlin who turned into Carlson. Yet he had a very good year in the Swedish Elite League, and I fully expect him to make Abbotsford for sure, if not battle for one of the final spots on the Vancouver Canucks. So Linus Carlson is someone, and his offensive skill set is someone that I'm looking forward to seeing as well. I was impressed by Daniella Klimovich last season in his training camp. As you know, I went out to one training camp and I saw him, and his shot, wicked shot, quite physical as well, or physical enough. So I hope that he continues to develop. So he's an interesting name for me. And Aidan McDonough, who of the college ilk, I think he's pegged to be a bottom six player for us. I hope he continues. This might be his third camp now that I think about it. So I hope that he continues his strong development as well. And Archdeep Baines, local kid, signing with the Canucks in the off season, or at the end of last season. He's another forward that I'm looking forward to. So a lot of these forwards, well, that's their point, I guess, being forwards. They have some offensive ability, and I can't wait to see what kind of impact they can make on this camp. On the D side, two guys in particular. One of them, of course, is our new Elias Patterson. He was wearing number 32 today, not 39 or 41 to be like PD, or not 80, a double of PD. He was wearing number 32, and as I anticipated, as many others have, he had E. Patterson, so E. Patterson on the back of his jersey, not to be confused with number 40 Patterson, who doesn't need his first initial, and no, his name is not Re-PD or D-Pete or as I talked about, or Redeeds, I think was my worst one yesterday. But yes, Elias Patterson the second was on the ice wearing number 32, and I'm interested to see how he does as a third round draft pick from the Canucks just from last Friday. Also, Joni Jurmo, he was drafted, speaking of third rounds, in the third round for us back in 2020. So this is technically his third development camp. He is the big Finnish defenseman, so he's someone that I hope would actually turn out, speaking of Finnish defenseman, hopefully he turns out better than Olli Juolevi did. And then in net, there's Silovs, of course, and then Akko, the guy whose name I can't pronounce, who we drafted a little while ago. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. But admittedly, I'm not as intrigued with the goaltenders as I am with the forwards right now. So Canucks fans, I'd love to know, who are you interested in hearing about? Who do you hope makes a really good impression? I gave you 7 or 8 names there, but I'd love to know in the comments below who you're most excited to hear, read, and see at development camp and going forward as well. Shout out to my sponsors, Perform and Transform, Personal Training and Weight Loss, and Advanced City Experts Real Estate Group, Jason Lim and his team. Thank you to legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, and to all of my Hall of Fame and franchise members. I appreciate all of you. And to all of you on this channel, keep on supporting me. I really appreciate the support, and I certainly do not take you for granted. Subscribe if you'd like to, like this video if you'd like to, become a member or upgrade if you'd like to, leave a tip, a super thanks if you'd like to, and definitely leave a comment down below if you'd like to. Which players are you most looking forward to hearing about from this week's development camp? If you made it this far, 8 minutes in, I got softball and I got my roller hockey playoffs tonight. So I type in the 2 words, Holy Rollers. That's the name of my hockey team because a bunch of us from church. So Holy Rollers. Type that in, or Go Rollers, or Go Holy Rollers, whatever you want to do. Type that in, then I know that you made it to the end of this video. Okay, friends, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks Go.